Flintlock. There's too many to mention, but we are incrementally being demonized as the new terrorists to the point that I guess it will affect how many people will show up in the streets and actually take part in events like that.
It'll certainly weigh on people's decision-making, I'll tell you that.
All right, we're coming up in the last segment. We're going to a break. You're here with Farron and Brian on The Real News. Be back in 3 minutes. Segment in the second hour. We have got a couple of phone callers on. We want to go to the phones. We are joined with Dave. How you doing today, sir?
Good, Farron. Good, Farron. I enjoyed the protest last Saturday. A lot of nice people with good intentions.
Yes, sir. I agree with you 100%. Enjoyed it. Also, glad to have you out there. And anything you'd like to add today? Glad to have you on today.
Well, by comparison to all these earth-shaking events, this particular point I'm making is not real big, but it's just another example of the interference and bungling of the federal government. And this would be the Cash for Clunkers program. Naturally, it's wrought with problems because the feds came up with it. What this amounts to is you trade in an older car and you get $4,500 off on a new car. Well, that sounds good. That sounds good. This is indirectly, this is going to be their economic recovery in kind of a backdoor fashion, because the car dealers aren't going to give you anything off the list price of the car. They're going to tell you, oh, you're already getting $4,500 off the new car, so that's the best we can do. So the car dealer gets full price for the car, which is unusual, because usually with just a little haggling, you can get $1,000 to $5,000 off on your own without the feds being there. So they're going to tell you, well, you already get $4,500 off, so there won't be any discount. So then you've got them getting full price with the taxpayers subsidizing the gap between the customer and the car dealer. So once again, the taxpayer holds the bag.
Exactly. That's a great point.
And they're trying to get these old cars out. A lot of these older cars that are going to be traded in this Cash for Clunker program, a lot of them are good, usable cars with life left in them. But the federal program stipulates that any of these cars traded in have to go to the crusher. It doesn't matter how good they are or how well they run. It's got to go to the crusher. Their line of thinking is it gets these older, polluting cars off the road. Well, let me say something to the tree huggers out there. When you turn your key on your SUV, your green SUV, keep in mind, every one of these newer vehicles with the catalytic converter pollutes just as much as a junk for the first 7 or 8 miles you drive it. It takes 7 or 8 miles for that catalytic converter to heat up for that anti-pollution to work. So if you take a series of short trips, you might as well be driving a junk. It doesn't make any difference.
Oh, I agree with you. That's an excellent point, Dave. I mean, here we've got the government that's hopelessly bankrupt once again, forcing the taxpayers to subsidize the purchasing of vehicles. We've got several callers on the line. We're going to try to get as many on as we can, Dave, but I think that's a great point, and I appreciate you calling in and bringing that up.
It's just another cog in the wheel of what's going on. Okay, sir. You guys are doing a great job. Thanks.
Hey, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
We're going to go to John. You're on The Real News.